Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're interested in vocal technique, pick up my ebook called Becoming a Natural Singer. Or if you can't quite figure it out, if you need some one-on-one help, work with me over Skype, book a lesson via my website or drop me an email. So I had a student recently, couldn't make a lesson, was unwell, was sick unfortunately, get well soon, and asked me, what do I do when I'm on the mend? How do I get my voice back in shape? What's the solution to a busted up voice, a voice that feels rough, a voice that feels like it doesn't want to coordinate, doesn't want to work with me, it wants to work against me. We all suffer with this. We all have ups and downs with our voice. The voice gets stiff, the voice gets thick, feels very hard to work. The voice gets easy, the voice gets thin. Ups and downs, ebbs and flows. It's very normal for all singers. What do we do when it's tough times? Well, luckily for me, and luckily for this video, my voice is very stiff today. It doesn't want to do its normal stuff. It doesn't want to work in the way that I would hope it would. So, the first thing we need to do, and really the key to getting your voice going as easy as it can possibly for that day, is to start early, i.e. as soon as you wake up, vocalize straight away. Really, as soon as you open your eyes is good, just to get the voice as pliable or moving towards pliability as soon as possible. Typically the voice is going to feel worst in the morning, purely because it's been sat there doing nothing for 8 hours. So we want to do something straight away. What do we want to do? We don't want to do everything, but we want to do something. Think about 2/3 of your range, half your range, this type of territory, maybe 3/4 if your voice is feeling easy some days. But you want to really think of it as a warm-up exercise. If you're warming up a car, getting the engine warm, you're not going to floor it on the accelerator first thing. You're going to ease into the momentum of the drive and let the car warm up gradually. So the first thing we need to do is isolate cricothyroid stretch, or cricothyroid engagement, vocal cord stretch really, should I say. Now this is easily said, but it is more or less easily done depending on your ability and where you're at with your technique. How do we isolate vocal cord stretch? Well, the exercises help us. The exercise that I find most easy when I wake up to find head voice with is very light E, heady E, hooty E, without any grip. So the way you monitor it is you stay on E and you don't grip on it. So what do I mean by grip? Okay, I can sit here with my thumbs and go, yeah, there's no grip there. If I start to grip, what you hear is this. You hear this feeling, start coming in. Yeah, this is pure stretch. This is pure stretch without any arytenoid grip, without any closure grip on top. Now, people that find their voice hard, they'll normally find this as they go up at a certain point. They'll either start pushing more air, or if they don't push more air, they'll grip on it on that horizontal. You'll hear this. You hear this feeling, or you feel that feeling as you go up. So we have to maintain that hooty, light, gentle quality right to the top without holding on to it at all. No matter how unpliable our voice feels, my voice feels very stiff, I'm still able to navigate roughly into head voice. It's vulnerable, but it's not holding on in the wrong way. As soon as I feel any clamp down, I'm going to back off and retry. But the idea is to isolate the stretch. We don't hear any of this horizontal pressure as we go up, and we don't also hear any air coming through at the top. should be sealed but gentle from bottom to top. So that's the stretch. The other one we do is the same, but it's with the mouth closed and it's on a hum. Same exercise. You do it with squeaky door or just a slide. But again, the idea is we don't have extra grip on top if we're doing a slide, or if we're doing the staccato squeaky door, we keep consistent grip as we close and connect the chords throughout the exercise. So I was doing squeaky door. Every time I go through, on every pitch. It's not it's not gripping, and it's not It's on every pitch. You have to let it be loose, wobbly and vulnerable. When you get to where it's starting to feel like, oh, does it want to get there? Just do that one again or come back down. It's about as good as I'm going to get that. You might do squeaky door into a slide without any delineation between the notes. So you might have yeah, it's about as good as I'm going to get right there. Now you can hear on the top though, there's no grip, and there's no letting go either. It's gently connecting right the way through. This is how we isolate the stretch or the cricothyroid engagement. Now the reason it's so key and critical to do this on the tough days is the cricothyroid muscles have to work harder when the voice is stiff. Now when the cricothyroid muscles work harder, if we don't have pure, perfect isolation of those muscles, the harder that muscle group works, the more we push against our tolerance of keeping the arytenoids under control and relaxed. So what I mean by that is this: as one muscle group needs to grip harder, the tendency or the instinct for many people is for the other muscle group to start gripping as well. And that's why on difficult days, what struggling singers find is as they go up, they want to grip on those arytenoids really hard because they're panicking. So it's more, this information isn't that important to me because I can isolate the cricothyroid stretch. But the further down the pecking order you are in terms of your ability and your understanding of the technique, the more important it is to pay special attention to, am I gripping on that or not? Is there more air coming through on top or not? You have to really focus in on trying to get as much isolation in that stretch as you can to avoid the instinct to grab down with those closure muscles when things aren't working in your favor. One of the reasons some singers are great on some days and awful on others is because some of them have good technique, but they don't have enough tolerance in terms of on those tough days when the chords are stiff. They don't have quite enough tolerance for that situation and that context. They don't have quite enough experience with it. And what happens is when they struggle, they're desperate to grip on the closure. And unfortunately, they get into that self-reinforcing loop, which we talk about a lot, is they grip on those arytenoids. It gets even harder because they're picking up more weight. So they panic and grip more. And then they're snowballing. So to avoid the snowball, we have to make sure we can get through our range with that pure stretch without any extra grip or completely letting go. And that is how we start to get the voice pliable again on the tough days. Now, from there, when I go to sing, I actually typically sing on connected light coordinations in the mid-range quite a lot before I try into the higher range. So what I will do often, especially if I've got a show, is I will sit and rehearse at this type of volume, like a mother said that you should dream. She told you that you were living free. But you seem that you're just one of us, even though you made such fun of us all. And then I start to really get a very, very clear sense of, okay, whatever's happening, I don't need to grip on it and hold on too much. I need to trust that the voice feels shaky and vulnerable, but if I trust that it can still work to some degree, then I'm not going to get down that rabbit hole. Now, typically as the voice goes that bad rabbit hole, that bad rabbit hole, what a funny phrase. As the day goes on, if you're doing lots of mid-range, medium and light compression work, what you'll find is, especially if you're talking a lot through the day, as you get to the evening, typically your voice will start to open a little more, it'll start to get a bit easier, depending on your routine for that day. So we stay hydrated and we let our voice come to us gradually over the day. Now, if you do a lot of that mid-range gentle work in the afternoon, it will pay dividends in the evening for you, typically, when you actually go to sing. And when you do that, then you start stretching out your chords, and often what you'll find is it's a hell of a lot easier than it was this morning. So there is a routine and a method that each singer has to navigate every day, really, to have to successfully find their voice by the evening even. And different people do this in different ways, but what I've found is taking it step by step and having a simple routine that stretches out the chords gently, isolates that cricothyroid muscle group, that focuses on mid-range, light work and trust, and then gradually as I get towards the evening, I start seeing, what have I got today? How much stretch am I going to get? How much am I going to be able to connect the chords without it sounding too squeezy and uncomfortable for the listener? And from there, you've just got to have faith and walk the path, because there's never any guarantees with singing. Some days you wake up and you can just sing immediately, like, with no warm-up. Other days it could take you the whole day and you might get 80% when you go to perform. Other days it might take you the whole day, you might only get 50%. Other days it might take you the whole day and you find, wow, my voice was amazing this evening and it was a total nightmare when I woke up. It often feels like you are navigating in a dark room trying to find a light switch and you've only got a certain amount of time to do it. You just have to allow that unpredictability to unfold in front of you and see what you can get out of it. There's no black and white rules with singing, unfortunately, and there's no absolutes in terms of if I do A, B, C, I'm going to get this outcome by the end of the day. It doesn't work like that. You can do A, B, C and you're more likely to get a decent outcome, or you can do A, B, C and you're more likely to get a bad outcome. But we're always in this grey zone, this ifs and maybes and perhaps. But in that kind of unpredictable feeling of, man, why can't I get this to work? Why is it out of my control? The good thing is it humbles us and it keeps us grounded in reality, because there's so much out there we cannot control. And often with our voice, we see that world reflected outwards in ourselves. For many people, myself included, we want black and white answers. Is this correct technique or incorrect technique? Life doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Anyway, I hope that this has given you a sense of how I warm up my voice, how I get it going, and if your voice is feeling tough, how you're going to try and find a way to navigate back to where you want it to be. Easy, light, flexible, and free again. Take care, guys. I'll catch you very soon. Bye-bye.